Hi there, today I'm going to show you how I plant out my sweet peas. If you've been following me, you should have some sweet peas that look a bit like these guys here. They're well in time to be planted out now. They're quite hardy. You can plant these out even earlier in the year if you want, but I like to get mine brought on well so that they can withstand the slugs and snails that are in the garden so much at this time of the year. So I'm planting them out. I like to plant mine in a teepee shape. You can plant them up if you have other structures, poles or obelisks or any other frame supported trellis. No problem, they'll grow up anything so long as they have some kind of support. I plant mine in these bamboo canes. They're 2 meters tall. So what's that, 6'6"? So about 2 meters tall. That's about the right height because they don't need to be planted. When I put this up, it won't be 2 meters because they're planted on they're put in on a slant to make the teepee shape. And if you wanted to try and make a little teepee hut, you probably need, if you could get longer than 2 meters, I think that would be good. You probably need 8 to 12 of them, I'd guess, to make it work right. So the first thing you do is put them in the ground. You need to put them in good and well down in the ground so that they're well supported. And then just tie them together with a bit of garden twine. The right twine to use is jute twine. So that's, you can see a bit of it there. The reason why I'm saying that, it's not coated. So that's actually a natural organic material and it'll break down in the compost. You're not introducing something man-made into the garden. If a bit of it falls down on the ground, it's fine. It won't cause any problem. So jute garden twine is the thing to use to tie them together. So I'm just going to pop them in the ground now and tie them together, so you can bear with me for that. This is my sweet pea spot. They like a sunny spot, so this is a pretty good one. Okay, so simple as that, nothing too complicated. One thing that's worthwhile doing to give the plants a little bit of purchase when they're trying to creep up is to sand them down. Sand down your poles, your bamboo canes, just like this. Sorry for the traffic. Bamboo canes are quite shiny and slippy, so it can be hard for the little tendrils to hold on to it. I've mine done from previous years, but it's a little tip if you wanted to do that. The next thing you can do then is to get more garden twine, more jute twine, and create a little framework for the plants to grow up. So you can just keep an eye on me here doing that now. Okay, so the teepee is built here now. The next thing is to actually plant the plants in it. So I usually try to plant 2 plants per pole to make sure that there's enough. I grew my plants, you can see them there, in toilet paper, toilet roll inserts, the cardboard toilet roll inserts. And the trick now is to plant them into the ground with the least amount of disturbance to the roots as you can possibly manage. These are part of the pea family, the sweet pea family. And those kind of plants have long roots and don't like them to be mucked about with too much. So do the best you can. But that said, I do this every year and nothing bad has happened yet. So yeah, the biggest problem is the slugs in my garden anyway. So I'm going to plant 2 for each pole, so that'll fill it out nicely. And I have plenty of plants left over, so I might plant some of them up in pots as well. So as you can see here, the soil settled inside these toilet roll holders. You can see here there's quite a gap. It's important now when we plant it out to get rid of that lip. Either plant that under the soil or tear it off, because it can act as a little wick and take the moisture away from the roots of the plant rather than letting it direct it down. So I'll have to see when I start at it, but sometimes these cardboard holders actually peel off really easily. So we're just going to start at that now. So we try and tease them apart. Some of these have become a bit intertwined. Just do the best you can not to disturb them too much. Okay, so for each one of these, we'll dig a hole, and I'll sit in a better spot. Dig a hole for each one of these plants and fill it a little way with compost and then water it in well. Compost I'm using is just general purpose compost that you'll pick up in a supermarket or any garden centre. So you'll be tearing away this cardboard bit at the top, like I said, so it doesn't wick away the moisture. You want the top part of that plant level with the top of the soil, definitely not higher and not too much lower. So they're all planted up there now and topped up with a bit of compost. I actually put in a lower level of twine around the bottom to give them something to grip onto even quicker. And all that's left to do is to water them. Sweet peas are thirsty plants, so you're going to want to be watering them fairly regularly, especially in dry weather and especially just after they've been planted. So I'll water them every evening unless it starts raining soon here, until they're well settled in and I can see that they're starting to climb up all by themselves. The other thing you want to be thinking about is putting them in the sunny spot, as I already said, is really important. I prefer to plant them in the ground where I can, and where I can afford to put the support and I have the sunny spot and all of that. I think they will grow in pots, and there's nothing to stop you putting an obelisk on the pot or putting a teepee propped up around the edges of the pot. There's nothing to stop you doing that. But it can be hard to keep them watered well enough in a pot, and if you don't keep your pot well weighted down and they blow over, it can be curtains for them. And also the leaves can get scorched if you put them in too hot and dry of a spot. So they're just harder to keep. On the other hand, they're easier to keep away from the slugs in a pot. So there's always a pro and a con. I prefer this. It's in a good spot in my garden where I can see it out my windows and past little stepping stone path. So I'm going to water it in now, and that's it basically. Keep it watered and feed them with Miracle Grow or Phostrogen, those kind of, even tomato food, every couple of weeks from now until the summer, and they will keep flowering and flowering until October, until first frost comes along. All you need to do is keep picking them. Keep picking them and picking them. It encourages more flowers. If you stop picking them, the plant thinks it's finished up and it'll set seed instead. So keep picking them, enjoy the fragrance, have little jars of them all around the house, and I hope you get as much enjoyment out of your sweet peas as I do out of mine. So this is Rebecca from the Busy Woman's Garden. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps YouTube show me to other people. And if you fancy it, join the Facebook group. The links are down below. And I have a free download too down there that you might want to check out. So take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.